Good morning, students. So, previous class we have discussed unit third genetics and chapter 9, that is inheritance and variations. 2 marks question answers. Now we are going to discussing about that is the genetics, ninth chapter. So now ninth chapter. Yes, ninth chapter. 4 marks question answers. 4 marks question answers. The first question answer. The first question is, mention the advantages of selecting pea plant for experiment by Mendel. So Mendel is considered as a father of genetics because of he conducted experiments on pea plant. సో బఠానీ మొక్క మీద చాలా ప్రయోగాలు చేయడం వలన జిహెచ్ మెండల్, గ్రెగర్ జోహాన్సన్ మెండల్ ని ఫాదర్ ఆఫ్ జెనెటిక్స్ గా మనము అభివర్ణిస్తాము. సో మెండల్ సెలెక్టెడ్ టు కండక్ట్ హైబ్రిడ్ experiments, hybridization experiments. He selected pea plant. Why? Because it has the following characteristics. That is the reason he selected to conduct experiments. He taken the pea plant in Telugu Batani Mokka. The first point, it is annual plant. So annual means 1 year. The plant which grow, live and die within 1 year, those plants are called annual plants, and which has well defined characteristics. All are unique characteristics to conduct experiments. Because of having the pea plant is selected. So the first one is, it is a annual plant. Annual plant means the plant which grow, live and die within 1 year. ఒక సంవత్సరం లోపలనే పుట్టి పెరిగి చనిపోయే ప్లాంట్స్ ని యాన్యువల్ ప్లాంట్స్ అని చెప్పవచ్చు. సో సెకండ్ పాయింట్, ఇట్ కెన్ బి గ్రోన్ and crossed easily. This pea plant will be grown in front of our garden and easily cross means reproduce easily, and it has bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers means that flower having both sexes on same flower. For example, in a flower, stamens are the male sex organs and gynosium is the female sex organ. If both stamens and then nothing but androsium and gynosium which are present in the same flower, that is called bisexual flower. Two sexes are there. Male sex organs are called androsium, female sex organs called gynosium. Because of having in the same flower both sexes, that is called bisexual flower. So both female and male parts within the same flower. Because of having on the same flower androsium and gynosium, there will be easily self-pollinated, so that self-fertilization is occurred. Self-fertilization means gametes transferred within the flower from androsium to gynosium within the same flower, that is called self-fertilized. So we can easily self-fertilized, and also it has very short life cycle and produces large number of offsprings. సో యాన్యువల్ ప్లాంట్ అనగానే మనకు ఒకటి ఏం తెలుస్తుంది, ఒక సంవత్సరం లోపలనే పుట్టి పెరిగి చనిపోతుంది. కాబట్టి ఇట్ హ్యాస్ షార్ట్ లైఫ్ సైకిల్ అండ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ మోర్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్ స్ప్రింగ్స్ ఆర్ డిసెండెంట్స్ ఆర్ ప్రోజెనీ. ఇది తక్కువ సమయంలో ఎక్కువ మొక్కల్ని డెవలప్ చేయడానికి కూడా ఈ పీ ప్లాంట్ ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. కాబట్టి మెండలు ఈ పీ ప్లాంట్ లేక బఠానీ మొక్కను తన ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్స్ కండక్ట్ చేయడానికి తీసుకోవడం లేక సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవడం జరిగింది. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద Most important question answer in examination level. Already number of times came in examination level. This year also I may expecting will appear in examination level. That is mention the advantages of selecting P plant by the Mendel. Next, go to the second question. Differentiate between the following dominant and recessive, homozygous and heterozygous. Dominant means in Telugu Bahirgata Lakshanam. Recessive means Antargata Lakshanam. Homozygous means Samam. Hetero means Vibinnam. సో రెండు సమానంగా ఉంటే దాన్ని హోమోజైగస్ అంటాము, దీన్ని హెటెరోజైగస్ అంటాం. సో నౌ లెట్ us define the dominate and a recessive. Dominate, already I said, it is the phenomena where a characteristic is expressed phenotypically in both homozygous and heterozygous. So for example, now I will explain dominate means. So capital T, it is the parent one in which both are dominant genes. When you take their progeny, that is F1 having capital T and small t, here also it is the dominant one. Why? Because it has the capital T. So this is the heterozygosities, it is the homozygotes. But in both conditions expressed phenotypically, it is the dominant one. Now recessive, the character which is not expressed phenotypically in heterozygous condition. So this is the heterozygous condition. Here there will be a recessive, means smaller t is the recessive one. This character will not express, this character only expresses. So this plant is always tall. Why? Because even though it is having capital T and small t characteristics, that is dwarf characteristics, will not expressed. So that is called a recessive. Smaller t characteristics, that is a dwarf, will not expressed, which suppressed. So that is the reason it is the recessive characteristics. Capital T characteristics will be expressed, that is why it is the dominant one. And next to homozygous and heterozygous. So individuals having two similar or identical alleles for a single character is called homozygous. Now I will draw very simple. Capital T, small t, both genes are same and expresses the single characteristic, that is the plant having tall. If the capital T is there, it indicates that it is the tall plant. So both genes are dominate and capital T. This is called homozygous. So individuals having two similar or identical alleles for a single characteristics, capital T are the alleles which expresses the one single characteristics, that is tall. Because of both together expressing the same characteristics, it is called homozygosity. So hence it will produce only one kind of gametes with reference to a gene, gene. Now just now I already explained you heterozygosity. So here two alleles are having different genes, different allele, one capital T, one small t. It is called heterozygous. An individual having two different alleles for a single characteristics. So single character is the it is the tall one. It is the tall. But here capital T, small t are there. It is called a single characteristic, that is tall, but having two different alleles. That is one capital T and small t. Capital T, small t. But expressing single character, that organism is tall. So consequently, it produces two different types of gametes with reference to a gene. So here there will be chances of produce two gametes. One is the capital T and one is the small t. Two gametes there will be a chance to develop. But whereas here only one kind of gamete, that is capital T gamete only, will produce chance to produce. So from the homozygosity, only one type of gamete will derive, but whereas heterozygosity, two kinds of gametes are derived. One is the capital, one is the smaller. That is the one is the dominant one is the smaller one. So now the third question, that is explain the law of dominancy using monohybrid cross. Now I will give you a clear definition, that is we have two types of crosses according to Gregor, Johannes and Mendel, monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. So now we are in, as this question is containing monohybrid cross, now I will give the definition about mono means single, hybrid cross. So here we are crossing two organisms by taking single character. So crossing of two organisms or reproducing of two organisms by taking single characteristics is called a monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross means, so crossing of two organisms, that is male and female, but having single characteristics is called a monohybrid cross. So the cross where parents differ in a single characteristic is called a monohybrid cross. So here example, let us take an height of the stem. It is a single character. Height of the stem has two contrasting trails. సో ఇక్కడ హైట్ కు సంబంధించింది సింగిల్ క్యారెక్టర్ అన్నమాట. హైట్ కు, ఈ హైట్ లో పొట్టి పొడవు, సో టాల్ అండ్ డ్వార్ఫ్, there will be contrasting trails are there. How many contrasting characteristics are there? Traits here, not L, not traits. They have to use trait means characteristics, not L here, trait. So regarding to the height, there will be two contrasting traits are there. One trait is tall, one trait is dwarf. So regarding to height, two characteristics are there, that is tall character and dwarf character. Tall character means potti, dwarf means sorry. Tall means height, dwarf means potti. సో ఎత్తుకు సంబంధించింది రెండు కాంట్రాస్టింగ్ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ మనం ఇక్కడ చూస్తున్నాం. ఒకటేమో టాల్, ఒకటేమో డ్వార్ఫ్. Now here they given examples. When a pure breed tall, that is capital T, plant is crossed with pure breed of dwarf, అంటే పొడువు మొక్కని పొట్టి మొక్కతో క్రాస్ చేయడం. So all the F1 plants are tall. సో పొడవు మరియు పొట్టి మొక్కల్ని క్రాస్ చేసినప్పుడు వచ్చే మొక్కలన్నీ కూడా పొడవుగానే ఉంటాయి. సో ఎందుకు అంటే క్యాపిటల్ టీ స్మాల్ టీ ఉన్నప్పటికీ క్యాపిటల్ టీ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ బహిర్గతం అవుతుంది కాబట్టి డామినేట్ చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి స్మాల్ టీ క్యారెక్టర్ బయటికి పడదు. సో హియర్ క్యాపిటల్ టీ tallness is dominant over the dwarfness. Hence, all the F1 plants are tall. That is heterozygous tall. Already I said heterozygous tall. Heterozygous అంటే టూ డిఫరెంట్ alleles అన్నమాట. సో ఇక్కడ క్యాపిటల్ టీ స్మాల్ టీ ఉంది, టూ డిఫరెంట్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి దీన్ని హెటెరోజైగోసిటీ అంటాం. అదేవిధంగా క్యాపిటల్ టీ క్యాపిటల్ ఉంటే హోమోజైగోసిటీ అంటాం, సేమ్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి. So when two alleles for a single characteristics are occurring in the heterozygous condition, the allele that expresses character is the dominant allele, the other allele is the recessive. So when the F1 progeny, when we take here, so when we take the F1 progeny, now here the given, now I will explain. So here where when F1 plants, that is capital T and small t, are self-pollinated, the F2 generation appears as follows. So when now it is the parents one, parents, tall parent, dwarf parent, their alleles are capital T, small t. So here one gamete, it is a female gamete, it is a male gamete. When we cross, there will be a capital T and a small t. The progeny is the tall. Progeny is the tall. Why? Because capital T is the dominant one. So this is the F1 generation. The F1 generation, which is means capital T and small t, which is the tall plant. Now when we self-pollinate, that is F1 into F1 here. F1 into F1. So capital T, small t, capital T, small t. These are the F1. And what happens here? Both now F1 into F1 we cross here, but well when they are formation gametes, capital T is the one gamete, small t is the one gamete. Here also capital T is the one gamete and small t is the one gamete. So here from this parent two gametes, from this gamete to parent two gametes. So to cross here, best example we have to take the Punnett box. Now this box is called Punnett box. Why? Because Punnett scientist has created this one, so we can cross easily by the Punnett box. Here let us take the female gametes, capital T and small t. So here we take the male gamete. So this symbol is indicate the male gametes. This symbol is the female gametes. So now these are the capital T, small t, these are the male gametes and these are the female gametes. So when we cross after taking the punnet box, capital T, so all are tall plants only. Capital T, small t, all are tall plants only. Capital T, small t, capital T, that is capital T, small t, all are tall. Capital small t, dwarf. So here what's happened in F2 generation? Now F2 generation is nothing but F1 into F1. Here you should write F2 generation రావాలి అంటే F2 generation రావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి అంటే F1 into F1 into F1 into F1 చేయాలి. సో F2 generation లో మనకి 3 tall plants వచ్చినాయి. 1, 2, 3. 1 dwarf plant. So the phenotype is generally 3:1. 3:1 phenotype. So 3 tall plants, 1 dwarf plant. It is the phenotype. When you take the genotype, when you go to the deeply genotype, అంటే జీన్స్ చూడాలి ఇక్కడ లోపల జీన్స్ ఎలా ఉన్నాయనేది. సో జీనోటైప్ తీసుకుంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి పునెట్ బాక్స్ లో ఫస్ట్ బాక్స్ లో క్యాపిటల్ టీ ఉంది. సో ఫస్ట్ బాక్స్ లో క్యాపిటల్ టీ ఉంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ కూడా లేదు కాబట్టి దీన్ని మనం జీనోటైప్ 1. సో క్యాపిటల్ అనేది ఓన్లీ 1 ప్లాంట్. సో ఈ 4 లో ఇది ఒకటే ఉంది కాబట్టి మనం 1 వేసుకున్నాం. సో అదేవిధంగా క్యాపిటల్ టీ స్మాల్ టీ రెండవ బాక్స్లో మరి మూడవ బాక్స్లో క్యాపిటల్ టీ స్మాల్ టీ 2 ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే 2 రాస్తాం. సో అదేవిధంగా 4th బాక్స్లో స్మాల్ టీ ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి, ఒకటే ఉంది కాబట్టి 1:1 రాస్తాం. సో మోనోహైబ్రిడ్ క్రాస్ జనరల్గా F2 జనరేషన్ ఫినోటైప్ రేషియో ఇస్ 3:1. ఫినోటైప్ 3:1 అంటే 3 టాల్ 1 డ్వార్ప్. సో అదే మోనోహైబ్రిడ్ క్రాస్ యొక్క జీనోటైప్ తీసుకుంటే 1:2:1. 1:2:1. This ratio you have to keep in your mind. So this is most important in examination level. So here they given this is you have to keep in your mind. And so the phenotype ratio is in F2 generation 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf, whereas in F2 generation the genotype ratio is 1 capital T, 2 capital T small t, and 1 small t. So this is the genotype ratio. If whenever whoever ask what is the monohybrid cross phenotype means 3:1, 3 tall 1 dwarf, whereas what is the ratio genotype ratio of monohybrid cross means 1:2:1. So this is you have to keep in mind. Here also they mentioned this is so here based on in above observations on monohybrid cross. Already I said monohybrid cross means the cross between 2 organisms by taking single character. We have taken about height there. So Mendel proposed a law of dominancy. So what is the law of dominancy means? Characters are controlled by a discrete units are called factors. So characteristics are controlled by a discrete units are factors. Factors occur in a pairs. Factors occurs in a కారకాలు. లక్షణాలని కంట్రోల్ చేసేటువంటివి ఏంటివి అంటే కారకాలు అన్నమాట. క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఆర్ అంటే లక్షణాలు, కంట్రోల్ ఉంచేది ఏంటిది అంటే ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ అంటే కారకాలు. ఆ కారకాలు జతల రూపంలో ఉంటాయి. సో ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ అక్కర్స్ ఇన్ ఏ పేర్స్. In a dissimilar pair of a factor pertaining to a character, one member of the pair dominate, other one is the recessive. When you take the dissimilar pair of factors, so 2 factors are if they are different, so from which One is the dominant one. For example, here capital T is the dominant and the small t is the recessive, in this way. So with this we have completed third question.